just to give you a little background here, we're up here on what we call the penthouse level, and the halls are full of influencers. Social media content is major.
I've been telling them about the 80s.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Well, for the first time, the DNC actually credentialed hundreds of social media content creators as they try to tap into a different audience.
So what did the creators think of this new program? They talked with our Sarah Maki.
Beside the news cameras and delegate seating, a space for something new.
They looking. The people are looking, they're engaged, and they're saying we're proud of you.
Southside Chicago resident Samantha Lampkin tapped to be one of more than 200 content creators at the DNC.
I mean, some of these folks literally have tens of thousands, if not millions, of followers. You'd be crazy not to try to tap into that.
We were there as former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot walked the blue carpet with creators this week. And she says credentialing allows the DNC to know what kind of audience each creator taps into.
Well, you got to vet them, right? Because everybody who's got a microphone, an iPhone, or whatever isn't necessarily doing work for good. But there's definitely ways in which you can see what their content has been and whether or not it aligns with your.
The thing about the DNC is if you're just waiting in the creator lounge, someone will tap you on the shoulder for a cool opportunity. Hi!
For Nadia Okamoto, whose account focuses on female reproductive health, there is a clear link between her content and the party's platform.
I had the chance to interview Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and I mean, I've looked up to her for a really long time. She is actually the governor who signed the tampon tax to come down in Michigan, so I've looked up to her for a really long time. And then we took photos. We've also been doing press interviews.
Well, Sarah's joining us now, and of course the mayor's with us. We saw her in this piece on the blue carpet, and you talk about, the influencers. They know who you are, Mayor. They were looking for you in the hallway. So while for a lot of us, these influencers seem like they're in their 20s, some of them are, so young, there is some level of awareness about political issues and leaders in Chicago.
Yeah, they were very eager to speak with you.
Well, that's good to hear. But what's really impressive is that not only have they created this platform and, frankly, a career for themselves by really tapping into, I think, an incredible interest by young people in all sorts of different forms of consuming news and information, they're still up to date. So when you think about the importance for them to be able to reach audiences, potentially sway voters, it's brilliant on the part of the DNC to say, let's tap into that energy. And the fact that they're willing to come here, and I think, frankly, there was a waiting list of people to get on the creators list here. This is going to be a standard part of conventions going forward, no question.
Every single content creator that I talked to said that they were really happy with the level of access that they had, and that they hope it comes back in 4 years, and they hope that they are here in 4 years because they have already found this experience to be so rewarding, so enriching, and then they're just wanting to take part of it more. And you mentioned the fact that they push these things out so quickly. We work for 8 hours sometimes for a minute's worth of content. They may talk to you for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes later it's on for a 30-second clip. And something that somebody brought up today is a lot of these viewers of social media, so a lot of millennials, but particularly Gen Z, they are waking up first thing in the morning scrolling their phone. They're
100%.
going to bed, last thing they do is scroll their phone. So for the DNC to have the opportunity to see them first thing in the morning, last thing before they go to bed, it's just really powerful.
This is the new public square.
Yeah.
And they are doing, I think, an amazing job. And you're 100% right. Unfortunately, too many of our young people are their heads down in their phones. But you've got to face the reality of the power of social media. And hopefully this is content that will get people energized, get young people in particular engaged in democracy. Democracy is a participatory sport. We can't have them sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, and one thing that I talked to each person, I asked them, have you already seen the results of being here this week? Have you seen your numbers increase? And they said, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Every single one saw engagement go up. They saw their numbers go up. They saw the time that people had been watching. And it's also important, some of these creators do turn things out right away, but some of them may hold on and have more of a high-end production value. So they may not hit for another week, 2 weeks, or even a month from now. And then everything that has been happening here at the DNC continues to just live on.
Yeah. Did you talk to them at all about traditional legacy media, what their view of us is?
Yeah, I did. Samantha, who's in the piece, she actually has a journalism background. She was a reporter for ages and then has now transitioned over into digital content. And she said that she was worried as a content creator that she wouldn't have the same level of access, but she was really impressed by what she got. And then she said she thought she would learn from the content creators and that they would learn from the traditional. And she said she absolutely saw it.
Wow. This is so fascinating. And I will admit, there is an influencer that I follow, mostly like design, that type of thing. I opened my feed, and she was one of the first speakers, this first social media influencer that was talking about fertility issues at the podium.
Wow.
And so that, just firsthand, I'm starting to understand the value in that they reach such a wide audience.
Walking through the halls, I saw a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah.
Maybe don't always know the names, right? But
Right.
I'm like, oh, I know you.
Yeah.